guys, it's JFCMsnakes here and welcome to my 1000 subscriber special. In this video we will be covering a lot of things, like we will be doing some debates on some Royal Python topics, we will be doing a Q&A, we will be doing some updates on snakes, some feeding videos, and it's really going to be really cool. Hopefully this video should be around 20-30 minutes long, if possible. I really wanted to give you guys something to watch, so hopefully you can enjoy this video, and we'll get straight into it now. Thanks for watching, please leave a like down below and leave a comment, and if you really want to you can subscribe so we can keep gaining numbers. However, first of all, before we get into any of this, I'd just like to say how grateful I am to have reached this milestone. 1000 subscribers, I mean, that's absolutely insane. I mean, you can see, if you go and watch my 100 subscriber Q&A, you can see how grateful I was when we reached 100, and I've reached 10 times that amount. And it just means so much to me, and it's just inspired me to go and make more, better, higher quality videos for you guys. So please leave a like and subscribe, and we'll get straight into the video. Okay, so getting into the Q&A, I think I had around 35 questions in all from a variety of people, so hopefully I can get through them all. If you've noticed that one of your questions have been left off, that's either because it's already been asked or I think it's a bit irrelevant. However, there's only one or two that I've left off, and I think one of the persons that I've left off, they have another question anyway. So, okay, so we'll just get into the first one. Okay, so the first question comes in from SMSnakes125, and he asks, if you could have any snake right now, which would it be and why? Now, the snake I'd have at the moment, the snake that I really want, is a green tree python. Now, I haven't done enough research into know the different localities, however, I definitely know that the next snake that I would like to add to the collection is the green tree python. Okay, the next question comes in from Skipper Reptiles, and he says, will you be breeding your Royal Pythons when they get to breeding size? Yes. Next question comes from Jam R. He says, would you ever think of caring for a tortoise? Yes, I would think about caring for a tortoise. They're really cool. I know a lot of people that have got them, and I just think they're really adorable. I mean, look at that face. They're just really cool, and yeah, I mean, some of them require quite a big table, so I have to have the space, but I definitely like them, yes. Okay, so Virtus Attis asks, is there any reptiles that you are scared of or hate? I don't think that I'm scared or hate any reptiles, really. I definitely don't like spiders, but I wouldn't say there's any reptiles that I'm scared of or hate. I mean, there are certain individuals of reptiles that I don't particularly like James, who is also in JFCMsnakes with me, has a blood python that bites anytime you go near it, so I'm a bit wary of that one, but there's no reptiles in general that I hate now. Okay, so the next question comes from Ivan Almeida, I think I pronounced that right, and he asks, will you ever keep venomous snakes? Technically I already do in my hognose peaches, as they are rear-fanged venomous, or deliberated rear-fanged venomous. However, I'm guessing you mean something that you need a DWA for. Probably not. I mean, I can't get a DWA until I'm 18 years old. But I just don't see the thrill in keeping a venomous animal, something that could kill you. It just doesn't really interest me at all. Who knows, in the future, one day I might just think, let's get a boom slang. But not until then, no. I definitely have no interest in keeping one at the moment. Now, Austin Burton asks 3 questions right here. He says, would you ever consider breeding your snakes? Yes. Would you ever keep huge snakes like yellow anacondas? One day, however, not in the near future. And what is the next animal you plan on getting? Next animal I plan on getting might be some kind of amphibian or lizard. It's either going to be red-eye tree frogs, Pac-Man frog, maybe a crested gecko, something like that. And you'll see why in January, so keep your eye out for this, because we've got some big news, as you'll see later on in the video. So yeah, I hope that answers your questions. Okay, next, Striker Daniel FTW asks, will you ever come to Australia? In the future, I'd like to go. However, it's just so far away. I mean, I think it's a really nice country from what I've seen on like, different things. And yeah, I would like to go to Australia if I could. Next, Christy Patterson asks, how can you convince your parents to let you have a snake? Now, I will be doing a video on this in a few weeks' time. However, I'll just give you a little bit of advice now. I suppose the first thing you can do is do a lot of like research on them. This will show that your parents that you are like mature enough and you know how to do your stuff. Or if you're not, like if you don't have access to research, you can like the internet. You can go to old libraries and stuff and research there. But make sure that they know you're doing all this research. And be persistent, don't be a pest, but be persistent and like tell them facts and stuff. And like I said, there'll be a lot more depth in the video. However, thank you for your question. Next, Tater Creator, great name, asks, are there ever going to be lizards in the collection? Hopefully one day, yes. Maybe crested geckos or leopard geckos are going to be the first ones. I do like the look of like your monitors and your uromastics and your iguanas. However, they're a bit big at the moment for me. Hopefully we will be moving house soon, so I'll have a big reptile room to have to put some bigger animals in. However, no big lizards at the moment. However, yes, I do want leopard geckos and crested geckos. Curtis Cartwright asks, how old were you when you got your first snake? I was 12 when I got car, so 12. Dylan Valencia asks, will you ever consider getting a crested gecko? Yes. Striker Daniel FTW asks, will you get another Aussie python? Maybe a spotted python? I've been looking at another carpet python, maybe for in a few months' time, because I just love rugs so much. However, a spotted python, I'm not allowed like any animal of one. I only get permission for one or two here and there, and there are things above a spotted python, even though I do think they look really cool, that I want at the moment. However, I don't know if green tree pythons are in some jungles in Australia, so maybe. I know they're in Indonesia, but I'm not sure about if they're in some jungles in Australia, so if green tree pythons is technically an Aussie snake, then sure. But I don't know at the moment. Okay, Ollie's Aquatic Plants asks, when can I expect to be able to buy snakes from you? Okay, so this is a really good question. I have been getting a lot of these comments as of recently, because if you go on my website, there is a store section. However, there are a lot of notices saying we are not currently breeding. And the answer to that question is, at the moment, we are focusing on raw pythons. At the moment, you can see behind me, we have Coco in the top, then Aya, then Lee. Now, Lee is of breeding weight, however he hasn't fed in a year now, so he's a bit skeptical, so hopefully we can get back him on feed. And Arya there's on about 1,100 grams and Coco's on about 1,400, so as soon as we can get both of those to 2,000 and they're of a good age, then we can start breeding. However, I've also got a few other projects, like with the carpet python and the rainbow that I've just acquired, that we should be breeding in the future, so that is really exciting. So I'd say for the raw pythons to be able to expect snakes, I'd say late 2016, early 2017. I think, hopefully, fingers crossed. Because if you need to consider that she needs to be a good age, she's about 1.5 at the moment, and some breeders I've been speaking to said you need to wait until they're about. Some go 2, some go 2.5, some even wait till they're 3. So I'm thinking I'm going to wait until she's about 2.5. So that's in about, so maybe around August time I can breed her. Egg laid, incubated, hatched. Yeah, you're probably looking about early 2017 to be honest. So, yeah, about early 2017. Next question comes in from, once again, Striker Daniel FTW, and he asks, will you ever do herping videos in the future? Now, I don't know how much you know about the UK herping, however, for one, we don't have many cool reptiles here. We have some amphibians. A large majority are protected and not very interesting. We do have 2 species of snakes, the grass snake, or Natrix natrix, and the adder. I think we have a few others, but if the chance of finding those are just ridiculous. But yeah, and to be honest, you're not even allowed to catch adders anymore. If you do, you can be prosecuted because they're protected. And ones that, like I said, grass snakes are only present in a few parts of the country, and they're still rare. So there's really no point unless you're interested in seeing a few common toads, to be honest, because that's all that you'd really find. Because a lot of the species of native frog, like the jack toad, I think it's called, is protected, and so you can't really touch any of them or go near them. So yeah, so probably not. I mean, if I ever went to another country, I suppose I could. But yeah, thanks for your question. Next question comes in from Skipper Reptiles once again, and he asks, what got you into reptiles? My friend James actually got me into reptiles because he got a corn snake, and then I saw his corn snake and I just thought that it was really cool, so I got my own, and then it just kind of spiraled from that. And then Skipper Reptiles asks you again, what is your next big goal for your channel? Now, when I started this, I never dreamed of getting to 1,000 subscribers. However, now I'm here. I want to set myself a goal that I think is a bit out of my reach. I don't think I'll ever get there. However, you said big goal, so I believe I could get to 2,000. I believe I could get 2,500. So I'm going to say that my next big goal is 5,000 subscribers. I believe I can get to 2. I believe I can get 2.5. I don't really think I'll ever get to 5,000. When you look at some of the reptile channels that have got past at 5,000 subscribers, like Mike Titula and Leopard Gecko Talk, they're all just they have some really cool collections and make really good videos, so I don't think I'll ever get to that, so I'll say that's my next big goal. However, my goal at the moment is just to reach 2,000, because that's just, the next big number. However, 5,000 is my big goal. Okay, so the next question is, what are your hopes for yourself and reptile future? And this comes in from Mr. Fudgy's Gaming. Now, in the future, I'd like to keep doing YouTube, hopefully keep growing it. I'd like to do some moderate breeding, nothing too spectacular. I'm never going to go into racks apart from hatchlings. I'm always going to try and stay to vids because I just like keeping them all cool. That's why I'm never going to make it too crazy in the future. Hopefully one day, who knows, hopefully I can become, someone who people go to get some good advice and stuff. That's kind of what I aspire to do, be kind of well known in the reptile community. However, I have no great plans to become some kind of big time breeder. I'm kind of more only just to see the cool animals and to breed them and produce them. However, I will do a little bit of moderate breeding. Okay, so next question comes in from my good friend Jake's Reptiles, and the first question he asks, are you going to be getting other reptiles that's not a snake? I think I answered that earlier when I said Pac-Man frogs, red-eyed tree frogs, or maybe a crested gecko, and you'll see why in January. And question 2, when will your collection stop growing? Never. It will stop growing for a little bit when I go to university in a few years. So that'll start growing. However, when I get back, I hope I'm still running a YouTube channel. If you don't know, I'm currently in year 11, so if you're not in the UK, it's kind of 2 years until I go to university for about 3 or 4 years. So it'll probably stop then. However, hopefully I can get a few more animals in before we do stop. And, but yeah. Next question once again comes in from Curtis Cartwright, and he asks, why do you think people have a fear of snakes, and what would you say to them? I'd say misunderstanding of them and misinterpretation, and the media, to be honest, because I've seen a lot of things, news articles saying 5-foot boa big enough to eat your dog, and it's obviously not, unless you've got like one of those tiny chihuahua things. No offense to anyone that has a tiny chihuahua thing, but and it's just kind of like, also a lot of people who are religious use that thing, the snake being the symbol for deception and evil and temptation, so it's just not very good. I mean, and then you also always see things in films where like the snake is supposed to be the antagonist and trying to be the bad guy. So I think that's where it comes. And what would I say to someone who had a fear of snakes? I'd say it's not as bad as you think. If you spend 5 minutes with an actual snake that's Like, if you spent 5 minutes with any of my snakes, all of them are tame. You'd see that they're not really harmful. Okay, so next question comes once again in from Ollie's Aquatic Plants, and he asks, do you still consider ball pythons a good beginner snake? Yes, I do, because they're easy to care for, they're relatively cheap, and they don't move a lot, so they're a good snake to watch a film with. Curtis Cartwright asked another question, saying, will you ever keep a large reptile like a reticulated python or an alligator? I'd be open to keeping a reticulated python, however, an alligator, not really, because I think they need like really big tanks and stuff, so probably not an alligator, but I would be up for keeping a reticulated python in the future. And then the last question comes in from Strokey Daniel for the win, and he says, what's your favourite snake, lizard, turtle, etc.? Like, what's your favourite lizard, etc.? Yeah. Okay, so my favourite snake at the moment, I'm going to go for species of snake. Probably Brazilian rainbow boa, to be honest, because even though I've only just got Quincy, I've wanted one since like I had Car, ever since I saw them. However, I never really trusted my abilities to have one, so I'd say that that's probably my favourite snake, my favourite lizard. I think Uromastics are really cool. I also think that iguanas are really cool, but I think I'm going to say, that's a toughie. But I think I'm going to have to go with like some Aki Monitor, because they're just so cool. They stay relatively small, they're really active, and I think Aki Monitors are just really really impressive. In terms of like alligator and turtle and stuff, I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't even know any types of alligator. I know a few types of tortoise, like Herman's tortoise, Horsfield and stuff, but I don't know the difference between any of them. Couldn't identify them. So I'm not really going to answer that, but I'd say a Brazilian rainbow boa and an Aki Monitor. So that does conclude this Q&A. I hope you have enjoyed it. Now we'll move on to the debate section with me, Jake's Reptiles and Skipper Reptiles. Okay, so now we're moving on to our little feeding segment of the 1,000 subscriber special. Here you can see Quincy, my male Brazilian rainbow boa. He latches himself onto that quite nicely, and he curls up inside his hide. Next up we have Peaches, my albino hognose, western hognose. She isn't the most ferocious of feeders. She usually just comes out and grabs it like that. However, she's fed every week for me so far, so I can't really complain. Up next we have Misa, my albino Nelson's milk snake, who always feeds brilliant for me. She always has that tendency to just grab it and sort of pull back if she's in a hide, but she ate that really well. Coco, my biggest ball python, strikes with this. I think she gets it on its hind leg or back leg, yeah, and but she eats it no problem. And then next up we have Aya, I've left this little first bit in because this is a characteristic of a bit of her wobble. As you can see, she missed a bit there, and usually that stresses her out and she won't eat after that. However, luckily for me, she latched herself straight back onto it and she ate that. And then finally up we have Rug here. Just after this, I've just left a little bit more in just so you can see how she usually deals with it, because she actually flung herself outside the cage, so I had to sort everything out first. But next up we have Rug, and for all of you know, this is my zebra jungle carpet python, and he also has a great feeding response. He's never been aggressive, but he's always aggressive with his food, and yeah, it's just a great feeding from him. Usually he does come out as enclosure like this when I feed him, but this is just to keep it all, like, you know, naturalistic, and I'm not just shoving it straight in his face. He actually has to work for it. But now we'll carry on with the video. Okay, so the next thing you'll be watching now is a little debate with me, Jake's Reptiles and Skipper Reptiles on about a different couple of raw python issues and snake issues in general. So I hope you enjoyed this little debate, and here it is. Hey guys, it's JFCMsnakes here, and in this little debate section of the 1,000 subscribers special, here I'm joined with Jake's Reptiles.
Hi.
And Skipper Reptiles.
Hey guys.
And in this little section we will be talking about a few little topics to do with snakes, and we'll be offering our opinions and views on it. So we'll just get straight into that now. The first topic I'd like to propose is all about live feedings and why people do them and when is it acceptable to do them. So Jake, if you start off with a quick point on it, and then we'll move around.
I think start off with how natural it is. So, yeah, try to say that.
Matt?
Hello?
Well, yeah, I think it's natural in nature, but I think when it's being captive bred and everything's captive, I think there's really no need for it unless the snake is on its last chance and it needs food, and the only way it's going to eat is if it actually has some live rodents.
Well, if you consider all the people that do it and say, like, this is what it would eat in the wild, why can't I feed it in captivity? What would you say to people that say that?
I don't know, really. I think that's a fair point, but at the same time, if you could either feed them frozen forward or live, I think there's no point putting the rodent through that, and it'll just be much better for them for frozen forward. I mean, if you had the choice, I'd definitely go for frozen forward.
Okay, and one of the points that I always like to make is how dangerous and stressful it is for both the snake and the mouse, because there's no need to put the mouse through the stress of being killed. I mean, it can't escape. However, the snake can also get injured through biting. So, Jake, what would you have to say on that?
Well, I've recently seen a couple videos where the rat has been put into the enclosure and has gone straight for the snake and has started munching on it and biting it. And I think that just causes harm on both the animals. Causes stress on the rodent because they kind of know what's happening, and especially if like a pet store sort of rodent, like it don't know what's going on, but it's sort of been bred for a pet, not as like food, and it just puts a lot of stress on the snake after being bitten, and it's just unnecessary stress and harm to the animals.
True. I would also like to raise an issue of like Matt said earlier. I personally feel it should only be done when a snake is on its like deathbed or hatchlings aren't eating, such as my Ireally. I've considered it a few times. I haven't done it as of yet, just because he hasn't been losing too much weight as of recently. But do you think it's okay to do it when they're at that stage?
No, can't speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's fine to do it when they're on their last stages, so it's the last resort, you've done everything you possibly can, and that is the last possible thing you can do to make sure that they can get a meal. And I think it's the way it's accepted in certain societies, and in America it's accepted. You're allowed to do it. The laws say it's acceptable to do, so most people will just do it. Whereas over here in the UK, it's not exactly acceptable because it's not actually legal in terms of because of the animal's welfare, and especially if you're recording it or taking any photos or for entertainment, that is definitely illegal. But I think as long as it's like last resort, you've tried everything else, and that is the only thing you can do, then I think you should do live feeding, because I'm sure you'd rather let a life of a rodent go into your snake, and I think it's better.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next topic. I'd like to talk about all these so-called bedroom breeders, where everyone is investing in royals, not buying royals to keep as pets, and they're solely seeing royals as a way to make money. And do you think that's right? Do you think that's wrong, Matt?
Well, I think if you're coming in the hobby for the money, then you're going to have some trouble, because even when we see big breeders like Brian Bartrek, Prehistoric Pets, they do have big breeding facilities and they're making decent money, but they still get typical average wages. And unless you're like one of the biggest breeders in the country, you're not going to be able to make a decent livable wage, I really think. So, yeah.
Jake?
Well, the problem with this is because there are so many royals being put into the trade, there's not enough people that are wanting to buy the animals, which means their price is going to go down because there's less demand for them. And you can pick up a normal royal for about £20 now, and it's getting to the case where if your snake is ill, it's cheaper to just buy another one rather than take it to the vet. So you can just say, you know, it's cheaper for me just to buy another one, and I can just get rid of the old one. And I just think that's wrong. And with big breeders, it sort of ties in with husbandry issues as well. If you've only got one royal, then you're going to have really good husbandry, and if you have about 1,000 royals, then you've got to divide that husbandry between all of them, so their husbandry levels are going to go a lot lower.
I completely agree with you, Jake. And another point I'd like to bring up on the fact that everyone just seems to, like, everyone buys a royal and automatically thinks, oh yeah, alright, I want to get another one, I want to breed it. And because of this, the market has become somewhat filled with unwanted snakes, you could say, because in every clutch you're going to get normals, and there's only a certain amount of people that want normals, and because of this a lot of royals are ending up in rescues and are having to be euthanized because nobody wants them. So do you think there needs to be some kind of limit on it as to how many we can breed?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Matt, do you want to elaborate?
Well, yeah, I agree. I think there is that problem that there's always going to be spare royals, and when you're maybe a hobbyist breeder and you're just breeding because you want the experience, I think you really got to take into account that you might end up with a few spare, that it's going to be a lifetime commitment, because they're literally, some of them just will never sell. So you've got to take that burden on, and I think that's why a lot of people, when they get into the breeding game, they don't actually think in advance about, well, what if I have like 10 royals left over? Now I'm going to have to look after them for the rest of their lives, basically.
Definitely. So,
well, I think if you just go straight into breeding, then, you know, there's a lot of factors you've got to think about, and one of them is if you're going to be able to get rid of the offspring. Even if a lot of people can't even give them away, so it's going to be hard to try and sell the offspring. And if you're going to be stuck with like 12 snakes, then you're going to be losing a lot of money, and you're not really going to gain anything from breeding. And because of that, that gives a really bad name to our hobby, because it makes people think, what's the point in having that hobby if loads of animals are having really bad lives and not getting second chances at life? There you go.
alright.
I just want to add that point.
Okay, so the last thing we want to talk about is the scaleless ball python produced by Brian Barczyk at BHB Enterprises. There's been a lot of deliberation about whether it has birth abnormalities or health problems. From what I can see, it appears to be healthy. It seems to be a little bit like the skin's a little bit weird, but I don't think it's anything too serious. People are saying that it can't sense food properly, it can't smell properly, it's blind. What do you think on it? Matt, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, okay. There's been a lot of people on Facebook having debates about it, and I've gotten involved a bit in it, and I think there's always going to be opinions about it. People are going to say it's the next biggest morph. Some people are going to say it's unnatural and it's bad. But I mean, I think you can never get, you just can't decide. And in my opinion, I really think as long as it's captive bred and there's no issues with it and it's still going to live a long and happy life like a ball python with scales would, then I think there's not really an issue with it.
Jake?
Well, I know that they actually took the male to one of the reptile shows in America, and apparently from accounts from people, he actually had a head wobble, and apparently his skin was really dry, and it just looked from the pictures as well that he wasn't doing too well, and he was affected by being scaleless compared to a scaled ball python. What happened to the female, by the way? Apparently
He sold
died.
He sold it.
What happened? I actually found out from Brian released a statement on his Facebook page, I think, and basically the female, when she was born and she was a hatchling, she had some problems feeding, and she actually died from live feeding because her last resort was live feeding, and they actually fed her, I think it was a live rat, and apparently she died through that. And I don't know if that's an official statement, but I think Brian did release that on his Facebook page, so that might be what happened.
Oh, okay. Because I know he did, I know he sold one, or was offered up to like $100,000 for it.
It was $125,000.
Which I think that kind of price tag's a bit ridiculous, really. I mean, do you think that $125,000 is worth a scaleless ball python?
I just want to add, when you look at when the banana ball python morph first came out, I think it came out about 10 years ago, and once they proved it out and they sold some babies, I think it was around $50,000, and it's slowly gotten worse, and now you can literally get them for about $250.
Yeah.
So if you just look at that as an example, it could just go down straight away, and we have no idea really.
I think it was 5 years ago. It was $25,000, and like you said, they're now about $250,000.
Okay. Well,
I have my bit about the scanners now.
No, because we've already got that bit.
No, I didn't add my bit, did I?
Alright, then add it now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd like to give a big thank you to Jake's Reptiles and Skipper Reptiles for joining me on this little debate. Their channel links will be in the description. Please go and check them out. They've also been in the little shout out bit that I'm going to be doing a little bit later on. So they're currently a few smaller channels. However, they'll soon be up in the hundreds of subscribers because they make some awesome videos. So go and check those out, and I'll move on to the next bit. So guys, in this little bit of the video, I just wanted to give you a few updates on a few things that's going to be happening, and something that could be happening in the future. Now, something that's very recently happened over the past couple of days to when I've been filming this. Today's the 5th of December. So today and yesterday, me and James have both been agreeing a deal with Swell Reptiles to start reviewing their products. So they'll send them us, we'll do a review on them, and then we get to keep some amazing products that hopefully can just improve our collection massively. So that is a really big thing for us to get sponsored by a company such as Swell Reptiles. That's just like absolutely phenomenal. Another big thing and a big change that could be happening is we could be changing our YouTube and business name altogether. We were thinking about doing a change from JFCMsnakes to JFCMexotics. This is purely because we feel that JFCMsnakes restricts us a little bit in what we can own, and we've both been considering maybe getting some. I've been looking at some leopard geckos, and James has been looking at some blue-tongued skinks to maybe get. It might happen, it might not. It all depends on what happens in the future. Wow, that's a really good shot of his scales there. Wow, you can just see that rainbow tinge. But yeah, so that might be happening. Hopefully that does happen. Along with the name change, if we do it, we might be doing a big change of like colour scheme. At the moment we're like a green and black. We were thinking about changing it to like a black background with like red writing, and just really rebranding the whole company, the whole like business model, just before it gets, but just before JFCMsnakes is a bit recognisable, just to like, not restrict us so much in terms of what we can own. So that's just a little update on a few things that we've been planning and what we've got going on. I know the first review we will be doing is of their new model or make of terrarium. We will be reviewing the 30 by 30 by 32 centimetre model in early January. So look out for that, because that should be a blast. And then this guy might get a little upgrade. My Quincy, my rainbow boa. And yeah, thanks for watching this little clip. We'll carry on with the 1,000 subscriber special. Okay, so we're coming to the end of my 1000 subscriber special, and to kind of finish off the video, we still do have a few small things left. However, I'm going to do this little segment here where I'm just going to react to a few of my first few videos, just so I can see how much I've really developed and how my skills in editing have got better, because at the start of this YouTube channel, I'd never done anything like this before. I just thought I'd do it, you know, just to put my snakes on the internet to show everyone. And so I just like to see how I've advanced with filming and stuff. So now we're going to watch some of my earliest videos, and let's just see how cringy they are. So we're going to get straight into the first one now. Now, the first video that we're going to watch here, if I can find it, wherever it is. Okay, so the first video I'm going to watch is the my snake and setup video here. It's absolutely shocking. I think I can still remember making it. So let's get into that.
Hi, it's JFCMsnakes here, and today I will just be doing a quick video on my setup and my snake.
Why am I so robotic?
We're going to start off
Hello?
with the thermostat. The thermostat is a microclimate mini-stat 300, and you change the
camera's
temperature
not even focused.
by, with a screw head, just turning it to the temperature you
Was there
desire.
any need to tell people how to use a thermostat there?
The lock. The
Genuinely,
lock is a very important piece
I'm
of
so robotic in the way
it
I'm using
enables
the
you to
lock,
lock your
the
sliding doors,
thermostat.
and the snake having no chance of escaping. You open it by simply putting the lock in, turning it to the left, and sliding it off.
Wow, look at that enclosure.
Inside, we have a hook
A hook.
and another hook, which
Pitch
you might not be able to
blackness.
see.
So
And it just
that's cool.
secures a big stick, just because corn snakes like to climb. Secondly, we have just a piece of wood.
Oh, this is too
A
cringy.
big water dish, which we got today in the post, along with this side. Another
Oh,
piece of wood.
let's skip on to
another
this.
Yeah, I've got a small piece of greenery there, and the bush at the back. The lamp has just come on.
The lamp has just come on,
because
but nobody could tell.
the probe was told that it's too cold, and in there it's just a 75 infrared bulb with a heat guard, and that's basically the setup. I'll just grab the snake now.
Okay, so that was the first bit of the video. That was absolutely horrific. So now we'll move on to the second one. Okay, so the next video we're going to watch will be... haven't quite decided yet. New edition. Okay, I'm going to go for the first video that ever got me any substantial amount of views, and it was my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th video. And it was the Swirl Reptiles unboxing video, the first one I ever did. Up to this moment in time, it's got 1,377 views, so let's get straight into watching it. Okay. Oh my god, I remember this intro. So, okay, so we got 16 likes, 3 dislikes. Got any comments?
It's
Okay,
Jesse,
2 comments,
and
but
today
nothing
I will
more.
be doing a unboxing video. This is just
Wondershare, you can see the watermark in the middle. That was the first
I
ever
know it's
editing
in it.
program I had.
hopefully, and we'll get straight into it. I've just got my Swiss Army knife. Slit both sides.
This is the box that took me ages to get into.
I've got my
It literally takes me like 10 minutes to get into this. Oh my god. I feel like I should play some of that Western music. Because it's just taking so long.
Yeah, so I've got
Are
all
we in?
the seats here.
Are we in?
So gift thing. Alright. Just gonna carry on to it.
Okay, so we are finally in.
Here we go.
What did I order?
All this stuff. I don't exactly.
Yeah, you still get
I've never
that.
seen that before. But got a lot of that.
Oh yeah, this is when I was preparing to get Zeki,
You might be
the
able to
second
see
corn
Zeki
snake
now.
that I got rid of.
We've got a small hide. We have then got my heavy stat, pulse proportional thermostat.
The wrong thermostat, so I had to drive all the way to Swell Reptiles to return it.
And then I ordered 20 litres of bedding.
Okay, so that's this video over.
That
That video wasn't actually that bad. It was good quality, it was in focus, some audio was pretty good. I actually quite enjoyed that video. But it was kind of good just taking a trip down back to where all this channel started. And that was the first video that got me about 20 subscribers and really kicked me into trying, because up until that video I think I only had like 9 subscribers. And then that video came out and it had got like 400 views in a week. And I gained like 15 subscribers and I was like, yes, I'm popular. So, yeah, now we'll move into some shout outs that I'm going to do. Just to some good viewers that I've had, some great channels, and channels that I feel that you feel really good for checking out. Okay guys, so in this last little bit of the video I will be giving a few shout outs to people. And now the people that I'm going to be giving shout outs to are some channels that I feel just really deserve it, and people that I watch personally. So that's not saying that if I don't shout out your channel, you're not good. There are amazing channels out there. However, these are just the people that I think deserve some credit and that I really enjoy watching. So the first 2 people I'm going to be giving a shout out to is Skipper Reptiles and Jake's Reptiles that you saw in the debate earlier. These Skipper Reptiles has about 40 subscribers and Jake's Reptiles has about 70. However, they make some great videos and they really deserve a lot more, so go and check those out. Next people I'm going to be giving shout outs to is ReptiBoy95, SD Reptiles, and DTP Premier Ball Pythons. Now, I actually run the DTP Premier Ball Pythons channel, so go over there if you want some videos like this. They're not filmed by me, however, they're all edited by me and, you know, uploaded by me, and I kind of just run their YouTube channel for them. However, Darren over there, he makes some great videos, and if you go and subscribe to him, if you're in the UK and you're looking to buy some royals, definitely go and buy them from Darren. I mean, he's got some amazing, I think he's got lightning pies, which I think is one of his new projects, and but yeah, go and check out SD Reptiles again. It only has about 50 subscribers, however she makes some really good videos. And then last but not least, I want to give some shout outs to Michael's Creative Creations and Granddaddy Herps. They're both more breeder videos, and they're both really good. They both have some great collections, and Granddaddy Herps actually made some pastel mystics last year, which I was extremely jealous of because I just love those. And so go and check out all those channels. I hope you found some new channels to support because they're all really good. And okay, so that does conclude this 1,000 subscriber special. It's around 42 minutes long, this video, so that's actually really good. It was what I wanted. It'll be a really long video that you can watch. I don't think many people are going to watch it all at once, so hopefully you can just keep going back to it, watching little bits. But I tried to just put a lot of things in here that people might enjoy, so I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like and subscribe. And now a little code word to see if you got to the end. If you did get to the end, I want you to write Quincy in the comment section. And I don't usually do this, however on this video I would like to see that the 1,000 subscriber special gets to 50 likes. If we could get 50 likes on the 1,000 subscriber special, I know it's a tall order, however I think we can do it. But yeah, I'll see you all on the next video, because it's been JFCMsnakes. Thank you all for 1,000 subscribers, and we'll soon be on 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe even 5,000. So I'll see you all next time. It's been JFCMsnakes.